Hello and welcome to the Calmcast, a time to feel calm and think clearly. I'm Claire Downham, the Queen of Calm, a transformational life coach. I was a burnt out head teacher who finally made the journey to calm after years of trying, and I want to prevent you from having to do the same. The Calmcast is a series of short explorations, gently guiding you back to your natural state, which is calm and clarity. Just listen like you would listen to music, with an open mind and curiosity. There's nothing else to do. Now let's relax into today's episode. So today's episode is work-life balance, and I remember after I burnt out kind of getting the sense that I hadn't got that right. Somehow I had cocked up the whole work-life balance thing. Although as a primary head teacher, I'm not sure it's even possible to have that. But I've really started to see this in a different way over the last couple of years. And the starting point is words. Like, it's really easy to go, work-life balance looks like this, and put it in a box and put a label on it. This is work-life balance, and then hand it round to people and say, right, this is the box. This is what it looks like. Get in the box now. And then you'll be doing work-life balance. It seems to me that there is something around the message that you shouldn't work too many hours, that you should find time to do certain things in the day for yourself. And what I hear in that is to me now too much structure and not enough presence. Really, fundamentally. Too much structure and not enough presence. Because my idea of work-life balance is going to be completely different to yours. But I think there are some keys around awareness, which I'll come on to, which are really important in this. So let me tell you a little bit about my day. So I woke up at 5:15 this morning. Now, that's quite late for me, actually. It's usually more 5:15 or 4:30. Sometimes it's even earlier than that. I am just a person who naturally wakes up very early, and I'm cool with that. I'm happy about it. I'm fine with it. So straight away, you can hear there that there is a reduction in thinking. I don't care that I wake up early in the morning. I used to be really bothered by it, and that made my head very busy and increased my stress levels because I thought I'm supposed to be sleeping later. There's something fundamentally wrong with me, and all of that came about. It wasn't particularly helpful. So that's really worth noticing. When I wake up is good for me. When you wake up is good for you. You don't have to do early mornings to be successful, and I don't have to do late evenings, because try and have a conversation with me after 7 p.m. and you won't get much out of me, really. Occasionally I do things after 7 p.m, but not very often. So, I get up early. I'm usually at my desk by 6:30 probably. But during the day, I do allow some, well, not allow, I just sometimes I take breaks. So the other afternoon, I think it was Monday, I went and laid on the sofa at 3:00. I didn't feel so good, and it felt the right thing to do to allow my body to rest. So I laid on the sofa and read. Of course, I fell asleep. Sometimes quite often actually, I go for a walk. But this week, I've not been feeling so good. So I've not been for any walks because I've listened to my body. Not forced myself to go for a walk because I think it's part of my work-life balance. I've not gone for a walk because I don't feel so well. And I know I'm listening to my body. And so, my way of doing life and what feels balanced for me will not be the same as what feels balanced for you. Now, if I totted up how many hours a week I work, it's probably quite high. But it turns out it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter. because I'm enjoying what I'm doing, it's not really about the amount of hours I'm sitting at my computer or doing things to do with work, to do with my business. What's key, I think, in creating your own beautiful experience of life, which may include feeling some kind of balance, but realizing, of course, that balance, we go back to thinking about words. Balance is a word with, how many letters have you got in it? Has it got 7? Who cares? Anyway, it's a word that has a different meaning to every single one of us. So there are, 65 million people in this country, 7.8 billion in the world, and every single one of those people who has an understanding of the word balance, or is old enough to have it, kind of a sense of it, will have a different meaning for what that looks like to them. And it's the problem is when we're trying to shoehorn ourselves into somebody else's work-life balance box. Awareness, to me, is so potent when it comes to finding our way through life and creating something that is good for us. And awareness is of that voice in your head. The thing to know about the voice in your head is it's just a right old collection of conditioned thinking that has accumulated over all these years. It's not really got very much to do with the present moment, whereas your body is in the present moment always. Your breath is, your body is, your physically where you are in the world is present. And so there's something about the balance between how much we listen to that voice in our head going yada 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 yada, you need to keep going or whatever, and how much we connect to our body and listen to our body. So like I said, this week I've not been for any walks this week. I suspect I overdid it on Saturday and went for a walk and got very wet and very snowed on and not feeling so good. But these are the kind of voices that you might hear in your head. So the voice in my head could be, well, I've heard it actually. I've heard that voice this week. You should go for a walk. It's good for you. Go for a walk. You'll feel better if you go for a walk. So that's one to watch out for. You'll feel better when you've. But if in the present moment your body is saying, actually, this is not probably, listen to that. Listen to your body. So sometimes you might have a voice in your head saying, keep going, get that thing finished. You need to tick off all these things on your job list. So you listen to that voice and you keep going, despite the fact your body is tired, you are hungry, you maybe haven't had a drink or a proper rest all day, but you keep going because it seems that voice in your head is the voice of God telling you what to do. It isn't. It's just the voice of your old conditioned thinking telling you what to do. So being aware of that kind of voice, as I say, being aware of the voice that says, well, when you finish this, when you do this, when you get to this financial point in life, in your business, if you get to this, finish these tasks, you're going to feel amazing or successful or good enough finally. That's another one to watch out for, to have awareness of. The voice that says you're not good enough if you don't. That's another corker, isn't it? The voice that says, well, if you don't do this and this, you're clearly not good enough. You're clearly not going to be successful in your business. You're clearly a bit rubbish. So you must do it, even if you know that your body's saying it's time to stop. And really, finally, a huge truckload of caution around doing it other people's way. I mean, if we could all just shelve that fundamentally, put that to one side, then that would be so transformational. Your body knows what's best for you, not your mind. That generally just is churning over a right load of old codswallop. Don't pay too much attention to that, but pay attention to what is here in the present moment. And if you're tired and you need to have some food and a rest and a nap or whatever else, then that is how to look towards balance, is to stop listening to the voice in your head that is pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. and start tuning into your body. And all that's needed in any of this is just awareness. There's nothing to do. I'm not going to give you anything to do because you've got enough to do already. And that's kind of where I point to, is to not invite you to do more and more stuff, but to just be present with what your body is saying. And if it's saying it's time for a rest, then please have one. Thank you so much for listening. There's nothing to do now but bring some awareness to how this is working out in your life. Listen regularly to experience longer and longer periods of calm. This has been the Calmcast with Claire Downham, Queen of Calm. Take care and keep listening.